Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where I talk over a game, and today I thought I would do something kind of fun. At least I thought it would be fun, so let's see how it goes. But I'm planning on making this a video where I pretend to be a neurotypical person working in a neurodivergent environment. So kind of like if roles were reversed and the world was the exact opposite of what it is now. Imagine that the people who are now neurotypicals are in minorities, and so they're actually considered neurodivergent, and they go to the office and then they come home to complain about their experiences on YouTube. So that is the idea. I'm going to put some text on the screen so that you don't get confused as to why I'm saying all these things that don't sound like what I would normally say, because this is kind of like a role play, I guess. Anyway, so let's get started with that. So let's pretend this person has just started a new job somewhere after some time of not being able to get hired anywhere. And this is like them discussing what happened on their first week. So let's go. Okay, so I actually went to this place and it's pretty close to where I live, so that was already very convenient. And first day on the job, everything seems okay. People just come up to say hello and, you shake your hand and talk for a while. I try to ask them some questions, but they very quickly just kind of shut me down, and then they all just went back to whatever it is that they were doing. Like, if I were to walk up to one of them to say, like, hey, my name is such and such, and what's your name, what do you do? They just very quickly answer, like, literally just, hey, my name is this, I do this, and good luck in your new position, like that. And then they would just look back at their screen and go back to work, and that kind of make me feel a little awkward because I'm like, okay, but I'm new. Don't you want to like know stuff about me or anything like that? But okay, maybe it's just a really busy week. So I eventually went and sat at my own desk and started up my computer. They got me a laptop that I had to, of course, install because, of course, all the stuff was new and I needed to install a bunch of things. So I'm trying to talk to the people next to me, and they're all doing kind of the same thing. Like, I'll ask a question, they'll answer the question, and then they immediately go back to whatever it is that they're doing. And in between, I just kind of like try to think of things to say, right? So I'm sitting there waiting for something to install. I kind of spin in my chair a little bit. I look around and I go, hey, I did this and that on the weekend. Have you guys ever been to that or that place? Or I just went to this restaurant. Have you seen it before? And it just kind of be like yes or no answers, like not immediately just no, but more like, no, I haven't. Or I don't really like Mexican food or something along those lines, and then just back to whatever it is that they're doing. I mean, they're not really trying to be rude or anything. They didn't like give me looks or something like that, but it kind of just answer a question, back to work. And then halfway through the morning, I'd be like, hey, let's go to the coffee corner, get ourselves some drinks. And then a couple of people would be okay with that, and they would walk over there. And then instead of just sitting there for a while and just having a little chat over some fresh coffee or tea, they would just literally grab the drink, grab a snack if there was anything, and then just walk away. It was really weird. So I just kind of sit there, I guess, with my drink, and I noticed that people would kind of look every once in a while. Like, there's a couple of desks that are near the coffee corner, and I think that's like customer service or something. So they would be like on calls, and in between doing stuff, I'd get these glances, and I thought maybe they want to like talk to me or something. And like the customer service team is always on the phone, so they're like a 10-minute break is probably not something that they can just regularly put in their schedule. So I thought I would just take my coffee and go sit over there for a while and just see if maybe they want to have a chat. And that's when people really got awkward. Like, they would hang up with whoever they were talking to, and then they just kind of turn in their chair to look at me like, can I help you? Is there something you want? I'd be like, no, I'm just here to just see what's going on over here, And they're like, okay, well, we do customer service. And then you just go back to answering calls, and that would be it. So I would just walk back to my seat, kind of defeated. Lunch times were not much better. We have a cafeteria over there that is on site, so we'd go down there, get in line, get our food. And there were some conversations, but there was all this stuff that I never heard of before. Like, a lot of them apparently play games or something, or they have a specific hobby, and they would go on and on about that. I had a hard time following what they were even on about. I have to say that is the most animated that I've seen, most of them. And I got asked a few times if I had any hobbies, and I was like, no, I just kind of like to watch TV, and in the weekends I like to go hang out with some friends or something, go see a movie. And they'd be like, okay, well, what kind of movies are you into? And I'd be like, I don't really care. Just go watch whatever's there. I'm usually with a couple of friends and they'd pick a movie for me and then we'd just have a good time. And then afterwards we might go to a bar and have some drinks. And they just didn't seem to get that, or at least they didn't seem particularly interested. And then they'd just go back to talking about what they were talking about before. Then on Wednesday, we had a meeting that was scheduled for half an hour. And I swear I've never seen a meeting like this before in my life. Everybody came in relatively on time. As soon as everybody was sitting, the team lead just started with the agenda, worked down all the different points. Everybody who had something to say about a certain topic literally just talked about that. They made a few decisions, handed out a few tasks for the next week, and then it was like, okay, we're done. Back to work, everybody. And nobody had a problem with that. Well, I had a problem with that because I was like, okay, let's first of all settle down a bit, have a few pleasantry exchanges, how that usually goes. At least that's what me and my friends usually do when we meet each other. First, we want to talk about stuff that's been going on, and if we have a point for our meeting, then that'll come later. But first, you kind of have to settle in and get comfortable and stuff like that. But we didn't do any of that, just straight to business. And half a week before I actually started this job, they told me that at the end of the week we were going to have a special event. So I thought, maybe we're going to have a drink session, or we're going to bring some pizza in or something, and we're all going to go socialize a bit. So I thought, okay, this is my big chance, because during the week, of course, everybody's busy working, and on Friday afternoon, that's when the socializing starts. So I waited all week. But then on Friday, I went over and there was pizza, but we weren't going to stand and talk to each other. It was this gaming thing. They had a bunch of these, I want to say go-kart type things, but they weren't on wheels. It's actually just a gaming controller thing, but then in the shape of a part of a car or something, like a wheel and a seat. And they would all play these racing games together. And that was also what the entire conversation, if there was any, was about, how the game was going, how this person was driving, how that person was driving, how the scores were, and what techniques they should use next time, or what tracks they wanted to play, that type of thing. And when they were bored of that, I guess, they all pulled out this other system and they started playing Mario Karts in groups of 4. And they were really competitive with that, actually. Now, I've played a few games in my time, but I don't know if I'm really a racing game type person. I was constantly being knocked off the track with banana peels and all that sort of thing. But okay, I guess we had fun. So all in all, not a bad week. I just don't feel like I actually managed to connect with anybody. I'm hoping that they'll just take some time to get used to me or something, and then we can actually go and have some fun afterwards. I asked a couple of them if they wanted to maybe hang out on a Saturday, because I've got this thing going on. We have a band that's playing that I haven't seen before that I thought might be fun to go check out, but none of them seemed particularly interested in going anywhere on Saturdays. Maybe they just don't like music. I don't really know. Okay, so this next week I'm going to try something different. I'm going to bring this little deck of cards with icebreakers on there. I'm just going to start handing out cards and seeing what people have for answers for different questions. A whole bunch of fun questions on there. And you can really get to know somebody by their answers and stuff like that. They seem to be okay with answering questions, so I'm going to go try that tactic, see what they do. Hopefully that'll get me somewhere. In any case, I'll make sure to report back. So I'll see you then.